Outrage is building tonight after the FBI director seemed to imply Trump was not hit by a bullet while testifying in front of Congress. And there are still questions about exactly what happened with the shooter, though. Now, take a look at this. Did the would-be assassin exploit one of the few blind spots? He was able to get a clear shot of Trump despite the 3 teams of counter-snipers. One team's view was blocked by a tree, so they couldn't get a clear shot of the gunman. On the roof of another building was a second team of counter-snipers. That's where one of them made the 1 in a million shot that took out the shooter. Here's the FBI director this week.
With respect to former President Trump, there's some question about whether or not it's a bullet or shrapnel that hit his ear.
Yeah. Well, yesterday, the FBI clarified Wray's comments with this statement, quote, "What struck former President Trump in the ear was a bullet, whether whole or fragmented into smaller pieces fired from the deceased subject's rifle." Still, a lot of FBI agents are outraged that Wray would make that implication.
I think it's absolutely obvious to all of us that it was a bullet. For Christopher Wray to say that in a congressional hearing is totally reprehensible, abhorrent, and disrespectful. It was almost as if he was diminishing, President Trump's injury.
So, look, I mean, we've seen this. It's been debunked now. We watched that testimony. It was strange. He was speculating, which tells you they don't know much because he was speculating. Even the statement, Dr. Nicole, afterwards, this thing then goes into more of a wordy thing. Well, a bullet or fragmented or pieces, or it's like, what is that? Telling you again, it's been, 2 weeks. They still, for some reason, don't know. What worries me is this tells us that they are distracting us, that it's politics, and the real issues that killed one man, seriously injured 2 who are, I think one finally left the hospital, one is still in, and of course, injured the former president. Those issues are not being dealt with. What's your take on that?
Well, you're absolutely right, Tammy. I mean, all of this is just a distraction of the fact that the Secret Service failed to protect Donald Trump. I mean, he could have died. And the fact that you have people asking or saying, oh, well, it was a bullet, maybe it was a shrapnel of a bullet, maybe it was shrapnel of glass, it doesn't matter. You had an attempt of assassination, and it got so close that just by turning his head is the reason that it didn't actually go into his brain. And there's obviously some politics involved. Wray, he was appointed by Trump in 2017, but President Biden is his boss right now. So, yeah, they are political shills when they are the director of the FBI. And unfortunately, we need to have the hard conversations as why did the Secret Service really fail? And I don't know is not a good question, is not a good answer. They saw that shooter over an hour before the shots rang out, and that they were able to take out the shooter within seconds of shots being fired. That means that they could see him. So why did they not stop him before he put out those shots?
Right. Again, 2 weeks out, Jason, and this is the conversation they're suggesting we have, promoting a conspiracy theory. What is your take?
I thought the FBI director's testimony was an embarrassment. He's supposed to be there to provide the facts, not to provide more excuses. The Secret Service director said, we need to wait 60 days for a report. Can you imagine after 9/11 if we had to wait for a report to get this done?
Great point.
The FBI director needs to know, how did the gun get there? How did the gunman get up on the roof? He was not sophisticated. He wasn't stealthy. He didn't do something you haven't seen before. The guy climbed up on the roof and shot the president of the United States, and they're all bumbling around. And then the extraction was terrible. And the FBI director should have said, look, A, B, C, and D, and here's what needs to happen to do it. Instead, he's over there bumbling, well, it may have been shrapnel, may have been. Why didn't you ask Donald Trump? You didn't even interview the guy yet. Yeah. And so I could go on for an hour. It's so infuriating.
This is what worries me, is that we could go on for an hour. We're not, and our enemies are seeing this. Other people who are ready to tip over are seeing this, the mentally unstable, and it looks like the Keystone Cops.
Yeah. When Wray, the reason he said that is because he doesn't know. He's the director of the FBI, but he was watching MSNBC. That's why he was thinking there was some speculation. Yeah. No one at the FBI told him that. I'm telling you, that's what that guy watches. He's been an anti-Trump guy for years. I remember watching him in 2018 at the Aspen Ideas Festival. He was on stage with Lester Holt making fun of the president. He was joking about the president and the way he tweets and everything. Everyone was laughing. Trump should send out notice now, pack your bags, because when I get elected, you're fired.
Boy, we're in such danger right now, I think, just because of the nature of what we're experiencing.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.